Hello, welcome to Polyphonic Press. My name is Jeremy Boyd, and today I'm going to be reviewing the new album by Ben Folds 5 entitled The Sound of the Life of the Mind. Here we go. Now, Ben Folds 5 have been around since the mid-90s, and they released their final album, or their last album rather, in 1999, and this is their first album since then. Ben Folds has done some extensive solo work, and the guys in the band have been like session musicians and things like this, but this is their first album back as Ben Folds 5. This album starts off with a song called Erase Me, and it kind of goes in different movements. It starts off with this really rockin' sort of groove with a fuzz guitar and the piano just sort of slamming down. And then it goes into this sort of slow piano ballad. But the hook and the chorus is that rockin' sort of fuzz guitar groove. And it sort of goes back and forth between those two feels. And it's sort of contrast and sort of counterpoint within the same song. And one thing I did notice is the two sort of feels of this song. They transition well from each other. There's no really abrupt changes. They sort of build off of each other. And once the slow part comes in, it trails off from the fast bit, and the fast bit comes in and it sort of builds up from the slow parts. It's really well done and really clever, and I felt like, it wasn't a boring song, and it changed enough to sort of keep you interested. The title track, The Sound of the Life of the Mind, starts off with this piano lick, and it really reminds me of Elton John, and especially the vocal melody really sounds like something that Bernie Taupin would write in the mid-70s. Kind of sounds like something off of Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. One thing I did notice about this song that kind of makes it a little unique is the drums are doing this pulsing sort of rhythm with the kick drum. It's something you would maybe hear on a Coldplay song or something like that. It's not really done too often. It seems to be, people seem to be doing it more and more these days, but it's not played, the drums aren't playing a straight ahead beat, and it really gives it a different feel to something that you would typically hear on a song like this, and just sort of elevates it above anything else. The first single from the album is a song called Do It Anyway, and it's a very fast kind of country feel. It almost reminded me of the song The Devil Went Down to Georgia by the Charlie Daniels Band. It has that really sort of fast kind of country vibe. The piano just playing away, and what it feels like to me is this band really needed to cut loose in the studio. A lot of these songs kind of have are really heavy lyrically, very serious. And it seems like they just needed to have a bit of fun and sort of stick it on the record. I do kind of feel like it was an odd choice for a single because this song doesn't really sound like anything else on the record. Granted, it does have the piano and it's very piano driven, but the feel and the tone of this song is very different from the rest of the record. So if you're hearing this song and you think that this is going to be what the record is going to sound like, you might be a little disappointed. The song Away When You Were Here really reminds me of a song that you would hear from The Who, particularly a song that Pete Townsend would take a lead vocal on. It's a really beautifully written song, and I think it's probably my favorite song on the record. It's a little poppy, but it's a little bit on the edge as well. And I really like the contrast and the sort of walking the line between those two genres. And the strings on this song really pop well. They're not overwhelming or overshadowing the song. They just sort of, it's sort of like adding spice to a dish. It's just sort of there for flavor, but it doesn't overpower or overtake the taste. I thought the strings were accompanied beautifully, and it's just one of those songs that sort of make you go, wow. You're sort of glad to be able to hear it. And to be honest, I thought this was my favorite song on the record. And the album closes with a song called Thank You for Breaking My Heart, which is sort of a tongue-in-cheek title, but the song is very down. It's kind of a sad song, actually. And I thought it was really beautiful as well. It's just Ben Folds with the piano and a little bit of drums. And I really like the way that this song lyrically makes you feel like you're not the only one going through this. Like everybody has or will go through a breakup at some point in their life. And it's nice to know that, it's nice to be reminded that you're not the only one who goes through this. Everyone feels like this at some point in their life. and I really like the fact that it's easily relatable. The production on this album is pretty well done. I didn't really have any complaints on this area. It's mixed really well. The album overall flows really nicely. You can tell that they put a lot of thought into the pacing of the album and the sequencing of the tracks. This album really isn't something that you would put on at a party or anything like that. It's more like a Sunday morning record versus a Saturday night record. It's a very calm record. It's a piano-driven record, so it's not something you would dance to typically. It's something you would sit down and put on and listen to. I really think that this is a strong record, and there really isn't anything bad about it, so I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. It's a high score, but I really dig this one. So anyway, that's what I thought about the album. Let me know what you guys think in the comments or with a video response. Please leave your album suggestions for me to review in the comments as well. And please don't forget to check out the podcast with my friend John. I'll put a link in the description where you can check that out and listen to the episodes and things like that. And I guess that's about it. I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy.